The village clock struck midnight, but the sound didn't echo, because in Purani, even time seemed afraid to move after dark. And inside Bargalkoti, Arjun stood motionless, eyes fixed on a Khidki that had ruined his sleep, his courage, and every logical explanation he had ever believed in. Because the window wasn't shaking anymore, it was breathing, the wooden frame expanding and contracting slowly, like lungs drawing cold air. And Arjun whispered to himself that what doesn't breathe, houses don't listen, and ghosts definitely don't wait politely. Yet the moment his thoughts settled, the shutters creaked open by themselves with sound that crawled directly into his bones, releasing a wind that smelled of burnt ash and wet soil, reminding the house of something it never forgot. And when the moonlight hit the glass fully, the child's face emerged again, clearer than ever, no longer distorted by fear, but marked with exhaustion. Eyes hollow not from evil, but from years of waiting, and she didn't scream or threaten. She simply stared, making Arjun uncomfortable in a way terror never had, forcing the joke quietly. Look, I'm bad with kids even when they're alive. But his voice cracked because the silence that followed wasn't empty. It was listening, and suddenly the floorboards groaned beneath his feet, shadows peeling themselves off the walls like living ink, stretching toward the Khidki as if trying to pull her back, while the cupboards rattled, doors slamming shut one by one, trapping Arjun in the center of the room. And when he turned around desperately, he noticed something new. The Khidki had fingerprints on it from the inside, small, uneven, desperate, etched deep into the glass as if someone had tried to claw their way through reality itself. And the realization hit him harder than fear ever could. This wasn't a ghost haunting a house. It was a house haunting a ghost. And when the girl finally spoke, her voice wasn't loud but heavy, each word dropping into the room like a stone into still water, telling him how the fire swallowed the village, how people promised a return, how nights passed, with hope, then doubt, then silence. And as Arjun listened, leaning against the wall for support, he tried to lighten the moment, muttering, "This is why you don't leave kids near windows," immediately biting his tongue as the shadows hissed. But strangely, the girl smiled faintly, the first expression of warmth he had seen, proving humor still belonged to the living. And when she drifted closer, floating inches above the floor, Arjun's breath fogged the air, his legs shaking not because she was terrifying, but because she was close enough to be real. And as she showed him fragments of memory, burning roofs, villagers running, her reflection in the glass growing older while her body never did, Arjun's fear dissolved into a weight he hadn't prepared for, the guilt of being the one who heard her when everyone else chose silence. And when she asked him to open the Khidki one final time, the house reacted violently, beams cracking, walls screaming, as if the building itself was begging him not to. And Arjun stood frozen, heart racing, whispering that if horror movies taught him anything, this was a terrible idea. But slowly, with shaking hands, he moved forward, feeling resistance in the air, like pushing against water, until the latch clicked open, unleashing chaos. Wind howling like voices, shadows tearing themselves apart, dust spinning violently, until suddenly everything stopped, the storm collapsing into stillness, so deep it rang in his ears, and warm dawn light poured through the window, revealing the girl's peaceful face as she smiled, not in victory, not in revenge, but in relief. And as she faded, her form dissolving into light, Arjun fell to his knees, laughing softly through tears, whispering apologies he didn't know but needed to say. And when the birds began to sing outside, the house exhaled one final time, settling into silence. And as Arjun stepped outside at sunrise, turning back once more, he saw the Khidki shut itself gently, fingerprints gone, glass clear, except for one final reflection, a child standing in sunlight, before it vanished forever.